Welcome back. In today's climate of fleeting trust and skepticism towards leaders, imagine leading or being led by someone who prioritises integrity over everything else. Today, I'm going to look deep into the heart of such leadership. And by the end of our journey, I hope you'll not only comprehend the essence of ethical leadership, but also grasp its profound, far-reaching impact. So why do some leaders leave a mark for generations while others fade so quickly? Is there a secret formula behind companies that stand tall during crises? Are ethical leaders born or made? Stick around as I unpack these intriguing questions. So what is ethical leadership? Well, it certainly isn't simply a checklist. It's a mindset. It transcends following rules and focusing on shaping values that drive actions and decisions. It means considering stakeholders at every level, not just shareholders, but employees, community, and even the natural environment. It contrasts short-term gains against long-term legacy. If you think about leaders like Howard Schultz of Starbucks or Tony Tsieh, whilst not perfect, their vision and commitment to core principles help shape industries. Consider companies that face temporary backlash for ethical decisions but emerge stronger and more respected in the long run. Johnson & Johnson back in the 90s took all of their Tylenol off the shelves when people got poisoned by it. A very difficult decision to make, one that some thought they might not recover from, but they did. They were clear in their communication and clear in their approach, and were highly ethical in the way that they looked after the whole situation. Now, VW and Dieselgate was, well, bluntly, an unmitigated disaster for the company. It absolutely wrecked what until then had been a stellar German car manufacturer. And it was a set of serious errors, very poor decision making, very questionable ethics that led them to put the software that changed the way the cars behaved. What they've done since is to take their medicine, I suppose you'd say, and they've moved to electric vehicle investments. And that takes us to the next step. It's benefits that you get beyond the surface. Trust and loyalty is what we're looking for. Employees aren't just looking for paychecks, but for purpose. Ethical leadership provides that, leading to higher retention and dedication from employees. What about reputation? Well, in the digital age that we're in, bad news travels at warp speed. Beam me up, Scotty. Ethical leadership not only prevents such crises, but also offers what we might call an armour of goodwill during challenging times. It also helps with innovation and collaboration. When employees trust their leaders, they're more open with their ideas. And this leads to breakthrough innovations. Now let's just look at a case in point. It's one I talk about a lot, and that's the case of Patagonia. This clothing and outdoor equipment manufacturer is absolutely committed to environmental ethics, and it has been since its founding. And it's really turned this commitment into a unique selling proposition. What's the ultimate goal of ethical leadership? Holistic success, it's not just about the bottom line, but it's about creating value that uplifts society, environment, and the economy. It's about inspiring the next generation. Ethical leaders should hope to set a precedent to create a world where the next generation of leaders sees ethics not as an option, but as a necessity. What we want is an enduring legacy, the real goal. This is to be remembered not just for success, but for the positive change and impact created by your business and by you. What are the steps that we can take towards embracing ethical leadership? Well, an important one is self-reflection, and I've talked about this a lot in other videos. Ethical leadership begins with introspection. Ethical leaders should routinely ask, am I leading in alignment with my core values? It's about having an open dialogue where you create a space where employees feel safe to voice concerns, knowing they'll be heard and not penalised. Of course, it's about continued education, lifelong learning, regularly attending workshops, ethical leadership courses, or even engaging in discussions about morality and ethics. The aim is to stay sharp in all of this. The world needs more ethical leaders, those who dare to stand firm on principles even in the face of adversity. If you're inspired to be part of this movement or support it, hit that like button, subscribe for more insights, share with fellow visionaries, and ring that bell for updates. And together, let's champion a future led by values, purpose, and legacy.